Chapter 13 trustee. He is also present in the courtroom this morning.
Good morning.
Notation down.
More for me, I would appreciate it. I've obviously seen your exhibit list. I've seen the stipulation. But I see various issues that could be discussed today.
Other rental property. The homestead, the trustee is not as concerned about because, of course, everyone has to live somewhere. And if he has rentals, that will be available to help pay the mortgage on his own residence. That's a positive, not a negative. It is the other rental property and what it might cost if he loses tenants there and if there are substantial expenses that have to be met for which no adequate provision is made. It does appear that these commercial interests that he has that he's purchasing on a contract for deed is cash flowing properly based upon the information that's been provided. Of course, that can also be altered during the term of the plan, but there appears to be enough stretch between what the tenants are paying in and what he has to pay out in order to meet his obligations under the contract for deeds. So that is also not as great a concern to the trustee. But generally, the trustee's concern is has he and will he be able to meet all of the requirements of the plan if he is permitted to retain all of the non-exempt property that he's now holding.
I'm glad you clarified that because when you were talking about the non-exempt property, I wanted to confirm that you were talking about the Hague Avenue property, and you hadn't mentioned the contract for deed property, and I was wondering what your view was on that. But your view is, to repeat it back, that there's sufficient cash flow or positive cash flow with that one, so if there's problems, you think there'll be enough income to take care of problems, maintenance expenses, but the Hague property, there's minimal, less than $100 as I recall without looking at the exhibit. There's less available if there's any problems.
Big issue is when 10, 11 again. I went with trustee and with his lawyer in the room to talk, and they both say Mr. To refinance his duplexes. How is it possible that if his duplexes are underwater, how he can refinance that? You know.
Okay, so you're saying there's an issue about whether or not he can modify his obligations to the bank?
Yeah. Basically, he tried to refinance his duplexes. That is against what he said that his duplex worth less. They are underwater. They worth less than mortgage. You know, evidently they worth more. So evidently, if he tried to refinance duplexes, I need clearing of that. So third issue, if they say that Hague is problem, I'm always happy to buy his Hague property for $1, keep all mortgage. I did actually objection about that. Give me for $1, I'll keep mortgage, I'll keep all tenants. I believe that Hague Avenue worth over $500,000. So.
Okay, so you're saying you want to buy the property. Let
Yes,
me just
for
tell you.
$1.
Let me just tell you right now that that's not something that we would be doing today, and that's not available.
I'm open any time to buy that property because I believe it's worth $300,000 more than that they say.
Okay.
So,
So just so you know, we won't be discussing.
okay, that's okay.
All right.
Just on any time he can sell that.
Okay.
Small
So he
issue,
knows. He knows.
Just one small issue.
Okay.
March 11, it was lawyer from U.S. Bank here, and he said he'll do a pricing of Hague Avenue. And then I don't know what happened. I wasn't able to pick up that record. Just I like to know what was a pricing of Hague Avenue from lawyer of U.S. Bank. You can say about that little. So this issue, I need to know what was a pricing value of U.S. Bank. And I got a record. I did copy of record. So just if somebody can say me what they are priced Hague Avenue, it's like 30. Okay. So.
Reason not to.
Your Honor, we have our appraisal witness or appraiser in the courtroom. I don't know if his schedule would allow, or if I may ask him if he's.
I guess until 1 o'clock.
Can somebody of these guys pull out number from U.S. Bank uprising? Must be in the record somewhere.
No, I guess I would disagree with you on that. The appraisal, if there is an appraisal by U.S. Bank, and we don't know that, it would be your job to get that, not the court's, not anybody else's. And that might not be available Maybe U.S. Bank would refuse to give it to you. If you don't have it today, you're stuck on that one.
They didn't give to me, neither to witness.
Well,
There must be a record here somewhere. How
that's
can
not
be?